I offer my loving pranams at the lotus feet of beloved Bhagwan, revered elders, esteemed brothers and sisters, Sai devotees from Malaysia. I thank Mr. Mahendran for this golden opportunity to be part of this 3-day national convention on a beautiful theme, the power of faith. It's something which I will also dwell upon in much more detail tomorrow, so I'll just give a brief introduction, some preliminary thoughts on this wonderful theme. Fast is the speed of sound. Faster than the speed of sound is the speed of light. Faster than even the speed of light is the speed of human thought. But faster than even human thought is the grace of God. A few days ago, when I got a message to come over here to Malaysia, I said I must ask my Vice Chancellor. He was away and came in the afternoon that day. And by the time I took his consent and came down to my room, there was this devotee waiting, and he said, "I've come to make arrangements for your visit to Malaysia." And it was so stunning that within 5 to 10 minutes, this whole trip was fully fixed. I mean, I have been to several countries in the past, but this was the fastest ever, any trip I have ever planned. And I didn't even know at that point of time what exactly I may be doing. Till it was mentioned that this is a convention of the theme on faith, which is something which is so dear to every devotee and so dear to the Lord Himself. In this context, I am reminded of a story. I was reminded of this story yesterday when I had come to this hall. There was a rehearsal for a cultural program. I think it's going to be presented either today or tomorrow. So they were rehearsing that, and it triggered in my mind a story of Narayana. So I don't want to tell about what's going to happen in the skit, but the skit triggered in my mind thoughts on Narayana. One day Swami was speaking to the students, and he said, there are 3 ways in which any human being can access the grace of God. And he took the analogy of a bank. He said there are 3 ways in which any individual can draw money from a bank. In the same way, there is a spiritual bank, and I am the banker, I am a spiritual banker. There are 3 ways in which you will be able to draw grace. He said the first way in which you can draw money from the bank is like you open an account. So you have a savings bank account and make small deposits whenever it's possible. And then whenever you need money, you place a request and the bank allows you through a credit card or a debit card or a check to withdraw the money. He said the second way in which you can draw money is, maybe you didn't have a bank account, but you go to the bank and say, can I get a loan? And said, yes, we'll give you a loan, but do you have any security? So you maybe mortgage your house, you pledge your gold or whatever, and based on that security you get. But supposing you don't have any assets to mortgage or pledge, then how can we get money from the bank? He said there's one more way in which you can get money. You can find somebody very reputed or very rich and request him, can you act as my guarantor? So somebody lends his name, and based on that guarantee, the bank is willing to give you money. So Swami said, just as in the worldly bank you get money in 3 ways, in the spiritual bank also you can get money in 3 ways. Money here in this context, he said, is grace of God. He said the first one, you open a bank account, savings bank account. What is opening an account in the spiritual bank? He said, it's the daily little thoughts, good words, good deeds. These are the small deposits you make in the spiritual bank account. One day, Swami was speaking to students. The occasion was, in those days in Prashantanilayam, whenever there was prasadam distribution in the mandir, the prasadam would come from the canteen or wherever, and it would be kept in Swami's room, interview room. So when the prasadam distribution time would come, the students would go inside, they would pick up the vessels, distribute to all devotees, and then the empty vessels would be taken and put inside the interview room. Now our students were always eager to extend their opportunities with Bhagavan. So what they would do is, when they take the empty vessels and leave it in the interview room, many a time they would stay back, and Swami, after finishing his work outside, talking to people, he would come in and suddenly he will find the students there, and he'll say, hey, what are you doing here? He said, Swami, please speak to us. So Swami also became a little smarter. He became very conscious that these fellows will be waiting inside the interview room. So when he would come out from outside, he would peep inside and he would see these students standing, and he said, hey, come out. He said, no, Swami, please come in. No, if you're not coming out, I'm not going in. So there was no way the students could escape, so they had to come out, and then only Swami would enter the empty room. So the students thought this is no way of going forward, so they changed the strategy. They didn't give up on Swami, but they changed the strategy. So what they used to do is they'll go and hide behind Swami's interview room door. So from outside it looks as if the room is empty. And Swami, he knows everything, but he'll come innocently and he will enter the room. And as he is closing the door, he'll find these boys, hiding behind the door. And hey, what are you doing here? Swami, please stop this. So one day, when this happened, Swami obliged, he closed the door. And he went and sat in his chair. And he asked the students, why am I giving you this opportunity to distribute prasadam? Why am I giving you this opportunity? The students kept silent. Swami gave prasadam, we went and distributed it. Why are we distributing prasadam? More than this, they had no clue. Then Swami said, see, in life is not a bed of roses. In every individual's life, there are ups and downs. In your life also, there will come times, difficult times. It will not always be like how it is today. You're so comfortable, so peaceful, your parents or your teachers, everything, all arrangements have been made for you. There will come times in the future when you will need my grace to overcome the challenges of your daily life. And at such moments, when you need my grace, I will remember all these little acts of seva that you have done for me. What seva? Swami gave you the prasadam and you went and distributed to all the devotees. That's all that you have done. But Swami said, I will remember all these little acts of service that you have done for me, and I will shower my grace on you. I will shower my grace on you. So never underestimate the value of making your small little deposits, daily deposits. And age is no bar. Age is no bar. I remember once, it was Narayan Seva Day in Prashantlim, 18th of November. We used to have a huge chariot festival. And afterwards, Swami would go to the stadium and he would distribute food, prasadam and clothes to all the thousands who were gathered there. So we had been given the responsibility in the university, the students, the teachers, to make all the arrangements. And when Swami returned after the chariots festival function was over, he returned to the mandir and came out of the interview room. He found the youngest students of our campus, the 8th class students, sitting there. They were the only group because they had not been assigned any duty during the Narayan Seva. So Swami said, hey, what are you doing here? Do you not know that today is Narayan Seva Day? All of you should be in the stadium. And these little kids who had the chance to have one-to-one with Swami, of course, they said, Swami, all the duties have been taken away by our senior brothers. We have not been assigned any work. Then Swami said, if you don't have any other work to do, at least go and serve water to the Narayanas there and earn punyam. He said. Earn punyam. Punyam means spiritual merit. Even the youngest members, when they came to the stadium, they were jumping with joy because they have a special assignment from the divine himself. He said, Swami has asked us, so we redistributed the duties. So all the 8th class boys were given the chance to serve. So what I'm saying is, Swami wanted each one of us, the eldest to the youngest, to be involved. He said, earn grace, make your daily deposits. Uncle was talking of, daily contemplation, 3 minutes, 5 minutes. Don't underestimate the value of that daily deposit. I remember once we had visited Amagundapalam village as part of our Gram Seva way back in 1985. And Swami in his discourse, he said to the villagers, he was saying, 5 minutes. He said, not too much time. Just 5 minutes. If you can give your mind to God, you will get 55 minutes of energy to last for the rest of all the activities and duties in your day. So, the time that we give to God, the good thoughts, contemplation we do, the good words we share with each other, within the family, in the community, in the office, or wherever, These are little ways of earning divine grace. The second way, he said, how can you earn? Now there could be a person, Swami, in this life, I've been the most miserable person, I've not done anything in my life. Swami, is there hope for me? Yes, there is hope for you, my dear. What is the hope for me, Swami? And he said, in your past lives, have you done anything good? This life, okay, you're not done. But in your past lives, you may have done some good. If in your past lives you have done something good, it is like giving that to the Lord. You're pledging to your spiritual banker all the merit that you've earned in your past life, and against the security of, they are like your permanent assets. In this life, no savings account balance, but you have assets, your ancestral property or whatever. So you can mortgage your property, you can pledge your assets, and you can get grace. So in previous lives, you might have done a lot of good, because of which the Lord is willing to give you that grace. So this is another way in which you can get. But there will be somebody who will say, Swami, what if I have not done anything good in this life? I have not done anything good in all the previous lives. My bank balance is zero, my asset balance is zero, Swami. Is there hope for me? Yes, my dear, there is hope. What is that hope? That hope is, can you get a guarantor to act on your behalf as a surety? And then Swami said, who is that guarantor in the spiritual bank? Guru is not the guarantor. Guru is not the guarantor. Don't think Swami is going to be a guarantor. Swami said, your faith is the guarantor. I have not done anything good in my past lives. I have not done anything good in this life. Swami, is there hope for me? Swami says, do you have faith in me? Do you have faith in me at this moment? If you have that faith, everything will come from it. Everything will come from it. And that little story of Narayana which I was saying, it seems Narayana was in Vaikuntha. Narada was going. Narada is a great devotee of the Lord. And he was in his travels singing the name of the Lord. We had such wonderful, start of our today's convention with these beautiful bhajans. So Narada used to go around singing bhajans. So he was passing by and there was this devotee under a tree. And he was meditating on the Lord. And he sees Narada and says, Narada, can you come here? Narada comes close. He said, Narada, will you be going to Vaikuntha? Will you be meeting my Lord Narayana? He said, of course I'll be meeting him. I meet him every other day. Can you take a small prayer of mine? He said, what is it? Tell me, when I meet him next, I will pass on the message. He said, I want to know, when will I get darshan of my Lord? I have been meditating on him for a long time. When will I get darshan? He said, that's all. I will surely find out on your behalf. So Narada, on his next visit to Vaikuntha, the heavenly abode, and the Lord is sitting there in his Adishesha, and he says, yes, Narada, what is the samachar? What's the news? Swami used to say, aim samachar. So he said, Lord, I happen to go to this particular place, and there is this devotee under a tree meditating, and he wants to know when you will come and give him darshan. So Lord Narayana, he listens to that very casually. He says, tell him, as many leaves are there on the tree under which he is meditating, so many years should pass, after that I will go and give him darshan. Very casually, Narada, poor fellow. So after some days, he is again passing by that area, and he's seen a devotee meditating under the tree. He said, my God, I don't want to be the bad news manager. They will curse me. First the postman will get the prasadam from the devotee. He didn't want to get the negative vibes of the devotee. So he's, quietly escaping. And Narada is seen by the devotee and he keeps running. And Narada is escalating his pace. He catches up. Narada, why are you running away from me? Please, did you meet the Lord? Did you put my prayer before the Lord? He said, yes, I met him. What did my Lord say? And then Narada says, fool, could you not meditate under any other tree? You could have meditated under a banana tree or some other tree where the leaves were very less. God has said that there are as many leaves on the tree are there on the tree, so many years should pass. Next moment, the unexpected happens. Right in front of his eyes, Narada sees the Lord Narayana has manifested, and this devotee is doing Shastan Namaskar to the feet of the Lord. And Narada is stunned. 1 minute ago he was telling, as many years as there are, so many leaves should be there on the tree, as many leaves are there, so many years should pass, then you will get darshan. Here immediately he's got darshan, and he is wild with the Lord. What is this? You have falsified my statement, and he's fretting and fuming, but the Lord and the devotee are, united. They are, happiness is bliss. Union with God, and they are both in bliss. Devotee is in bliss, Narayana is also in bliss. After some time, Narayana looks at Narada and says, Narada, what happened? Why are you so upset? He said, Lord, you may not have any value for your words. At least there is some value for my word. You only told me that to tell this devotee so many years should pass as there are leaves on the tree, and immediately you come and giving darshan. How is it possible? Who will believe me tomorrow? Who will trust me? Then Narayana says, Narada, you don't understand. When you told this devotee how many years will pass as there are leaves on the tree, did you see his reaction? He was not worried. What was your reaction? Poor fellow, how many years he has been already meditating, how many years he has to meditate further. His reaction was not that. He said, Lord is going to come. He will give me darshan. I will see him. At that moment, Narada, his faith was so intense. I couldn't help it, Narada. I had to come immediately and give him darshan. I had to come immediately and give him darshan. So that is the power of faith. But more of it, I will leave for tomorrow. We have here Uncle who's going to share his thoughts on this wonderful theme. So with these few words, Jai Sai Ram.